Look at this wet hair Fernando Rangel moment going on right over here. Howdy y'all, I hope you guys are all doing well, I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. My name is Josh and I absolutely love clothing and personal style, so if you're into that type of content, feel free to subscribe to me here on YouTube as well as follow me on Instagram at @wears_galdo. So today's video, wow, I forgot to film an intro, just realized that. Back at the beginning of 2022, I did a video about my boot collection. Well, here is the end of 2024 boot collection update. I intend to show you every single boot that I own, and this is going to be a lot of boots. Excuse my hair, I got back from hiking, showered, and it is still drying hours later. That is one big downside to my hair being so long. It takes forever to dry. Categorically, these are gonna be all over the place, but I'm gonna try to make it make sense for the sake of this video. And after gathering all these boots together, I'm like, oh my god, I have so many boots. But first category is going to be Western boots. So let's get this started. Double H cowboy boots. Really, really cool. Contrast shaft, has these little extra holes to make it easier to pull on. We also have Croc textured upper. This isn't real Croc leather, but it is like regular cow leather that's textured and shaped, embossed to look like Croc leather. We got rubber sole on bottom, and these are just a pretty cheap pair of cowboy boots. Aggressive square toe right over there. This burgundy pair of cowboy boots. They're absolutely beautiful. I did thrift these, and as you can see, that color is gorgeous. The ornateness around the shaft, and then we got the little embroidery that is very prevalent in a lot of cowboy boots. Nice, like very, not pointed toe, but more like an almond shape. We got leather sole, rubber heel. Very nice boot. I think I should probably wear these more. Next up, I have no idea what leather these are because they feel very, very gritty in terms of texture. But really cool boot. Again, thrifted these as well. Got the classic cowboy boot embroidery on the shaft. Pretty pointed toe in this yellowish brown. Then we got leather sole, rubber heel. Next up is going to be a pair of Wesco Western boots. Beautiful leather, is going to be super, super thick. That nice kind of almond shaped toe, but we do have Vibram on bottom so you don't catch me slipping. Not much to say about it. It is just a remarkably high quality boot. Next category is going to be biker boots. So first and foremost, crazy pair of boots. This is going to be some like motocross boots that I'm not too familiar with, but I hardly wear these because they are so loud, but also because they are so stiff. To be as protective as they are, they have to be very, very solid shoes, and they do very much remind me of the Balenciaga pair. One that I'm not going to talk about too much because I'm still kind of working on this project, but sneak peek right there. Next up is going to be this pair right here. This is a pair of Fry square toe harness boots. Fry boots have been gaining in popularity as of late, and I very much am on that wave. I've had this pair for quite a long time now. And then we also have this pair right here. This is a pair of Wesco harness boots. Very tall shaft, very thick leather, just like the Western boots. We got a subtle square toe right over here. Really aggressive Vibram lug sole, and probably my favorite biker boot that I own. I really only have one work boot, and it's going to be this one right over here. This is the Red Wing mock toe, a very classic style of work boot. We have that mock toe detailing right up front. We got a wedge sole, and these are just a really robust, nice, like hard-wearing boot. Next up is going to be engineer boots. This is going to be kind of the quintessential engineer boot, but pretty high shaft. We got two buckles, and yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of constitutes an engineer boot. We have a embossed branding right over here, but also a branding plate right here as well. We have rubber sole throughout the bottom so you don't catch me slipping. And then what I really love about this pair is that there is nice and beautiful patina on the leather on the upper of this boot. In some lights it looks brown, in other lights it just looks completely black. So Really unique pair of boots. We also have this one right here. This isn't really an engineer boot since it doesn't have any of the buckle detailing, but this is more of just like a pull-on boot. This is a Red Wing pull-on boot. They're really, really beat up, but I really love the character that these have. These are absolutely gorgeous. They are a little too small for me, unfortunately, so I might be letting them go. Next in line for the engineer boots, this is going to be a Chippewa engineer boot. One of my favorites because it has these star studs on the shaft itself and on the front strap. Absolutely gorgeous in terms of texture. We got the two buckles, of course. We have a really nice, I don't know if it's composite toe, steel toe, but very hard toe, and then we have the contrast midsole right over here, and of course Vibram sole. You won't catch me slipping around. And up next after that is going to be the Wesco engineer boot. This is going to be just like the other Wescos, the most robust leather, absolutely beautiful, embossed branding right over here on the front of the shaft, real tall, two buckles, and a real rounded toe. Really aggressive Vibram sole, and I wear these probably the most out of all my Wescos. Up next are vintage military boots, and that includes anything that has had some sort of use in military settings. So this is a Corcoran jump boot. Really, really nice, really tall. The laces I keep short, to be honest with you, and I kind of wear them open, have pants sitting here. It looks great. We have this cap toe detail, which is really nice. And then, of course, there is the sole. Really, really cool boot, and you can actually get these for really, really cheap on like eBay, Depop, or wherever. So Corcoran. Next up is going to be a boot that might be familiar to you if you have watched my channel for a while. I believe these are Vietnam War era combat boots that I had resold to have a Vibram sole. Absolutely gorgeous. Probably still my favorite shape of combat boot that I've had so far, and they have held up so well. They still have that really beautiful patina to them. Next is an unfinished project. This is a military muckluck boot. This is super cold weather. They do come with kind of like a wool insert to keep your foot really, really warm. They were originally green, but I ran out of dye, so the other side is entirely green, like this colored green, as you could see. But yeah, mucklucks. Next up is going to be another combat boot. This one I believe is from like the 80s or 90s maybe, from a company called Addison Shoe Company. Really, really nice, really dressy looking, and then the lace holes are very kind of like a speed lacing system where you can pull them really easily and they like lace up the entirety of the boot really quickly. Really nice kind of slimmer toe shape. There's the sole. You can tell this is from Goodwill because my Goodwill like marks how much they cost in Sharpie. Next up is going to be kind of like a shorter combat boot. I got these off eBay. Really, really cool. Really like nice and dressy. They're kind of like a dressy chukka boot. But there is the sizing information and everything on the side of the boot that's embossed, which is indicative on some combat boots. Like some of them will have that same detailing. I want to say it's from the 80s or 90s, but I could be wrong, so feel free to correct me in the comments down below. There's the sole, and I love the kind of bulbous toe that it gives right over here that also has a little bit of discoloration. Lastly, for the military boots is going to be this pair right here. This is the Mickey Mouse boot. The white version is called the bunny boot, but really, really cool fully rubber boot, I should say. Waterproof shoe. I usually bring these up into the mountains. I don't know if you could tell that there's just a bunch of like dust and dirt on the bottom here, but I do love this pair. If I'm not mistaken, I might have thrifted these as well or got them off secondhand. I'm not sure at this point. I've had them for at least a little over a year, I would say, but really cool. I really love that they have like these instructions on the side over here and a pressurized little toggle right over here, and these are just so cool, unique, and you can just see that like really bulbous toe shape that I think Raf Simons used as a reference for some of his boots. And last but certainly not least for the military boots is going to be this pair right here. This is going to be a German military pull-up boot. These are really, really cool. The leather is kind of like a pebbled leather and very, very robust. We do have a rubber sole on bottom and a nice kind of bulbous, like normal toe. Really, really cool pair of boots, and I know that Rick Owens has referenced this boot in some of his creeper boots. Really nice. Love this pair. I've been wearing this probably the most out of the combat boots or military boots. Grab these from Expired Rags. So yeah, if you want a pair, look up Expired Rags. They have some really, really nice stuff. I think that's about it for the military inspired boots. And finally is going to be the fashion-centric boots. They might take cues from other categories of boots, but these are going to be kind of more fashion-focused boots. The first one being this harness boot right here. Really, I think it's kind of funny. Eagle harness right over here. We have metal detailing surrounding the square toe. Of course, like rubber bottom right over here. Did find them at a thrift store, super cheap. These are the most recent edition. Have had these for a long minute. This is going to be the Stone Island Echo collaboration. They are really cool in my opinion. They are a kind of zip up boot. They have an like internal like leather booty, like neoprene leather booty. So they're very like water resistant, which is really nice. Tread is still really good. But yeah, Stone Island, I really haven't seen these around, and I'm really glad that I grabbed them when I was in the Stone Island store in LA. Before I owned any Guidi, I bought this as kind of like a really, really cheap replacement. I found these on Grailed. I'm not 100% sure what brand they're from, but these are my first back zip boots. They have this kind of like soft suede upper, and of course the back zip. Put some Vibram soles up on there. Won't catch me slipping. And if I find the brand, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. But just some nice back zip boots for like my intro to more avant-garde footwear. I have a pair of Walker Vietnam. These are going to be kind of like a Guidi dupe for the PL2. Nice high shaft over here. Really, really nicely shaped toe. Relatively high heel right over here. If I had to say, it'd probably be like maybe 1.5 inch heel. But Walker Vietnam boots, can't say too much about that. And then we got the Saint Laurent harnessed Wyatt boots. This was like representative and indicative of some like a goal for me when I first really started getting into clothing. The harnessed Wyatts, they're nice in shape, perfect kind of like sharper toe. I think 2-inch heel. Really cool. I don't wear them as much because they don't really go with what I wear as of late, but regardless, I am really proud to have these in my collection, and so, you know, a little bit of sentimental value there. We have the Somar Grunt boots. Now, my pair is in relatively good condition. I don't wear them too much because I do think they're pretty special in terms. I know I should wear my stuff. I bought it with my money, and I should get the use out of them. But I just love having these in my collection, based off of a lot of different types of combat boots. But they have that rubber sole on bottom. They have the kind of inner, more natural colored leather, so you get to see kind of like peeking of the natural leather color underneath with the black on top. Looks really good. Really, really great boot. I love Somar. Absolutely wonderful brand. Next up, we have a pair of Guidi 310s. They're the higher version. There's a lower version called the 210, but really, really nice front zip. Really nice toe shape. Really classy. And of course, they have the Guidi Vibram soles on bottom. This one I wore a lot in New York. This is going to be a Guidi combat boot. I apologize, I don't know the number for this one, but the square toe combat boot. I really haven't seen it very many places. Leather is absolutely amazing, nice, soft, just like any Guidi. And then we have that super aggressive square toe. Kind of looks like a hoof to me when I wear like wide pants. We have Vibram sole on bottom and absolutely beautiful pair of like fashion forward combat boots. And lastly is going to be the Carol Christian Pull Tornado Zip boot. This is my Grail boot. This is absolutely amazing in my eyes. These boots are absolutely flawless. They have the zipper that goes from the medial side of the foot all the way to the posterior aspect of kind of like, they go up to like the bottom of my calf. But I'm not a necessarily tall guy. But yes, very tall shaft boot. What I really love is this leather texture. You can see that like scarred leather texture. I believe these are horsehide. So scarred leather texture that just seamlessly go into this really fine suede. Absolutely gorgeous. I do have Vibram soles on bottom. You can see that exposed shank on bottom, which is very indicative of a lot of CCP Tornado boots. Just the crown jewel of my collection. All right, and I believe that's every single boot that I own. That's like 31 or like 30 boots or something like that. I definitely have far too many, but again, I do have this collector's mentality. I love each and every boot for a different aspect of itself, and a lot of these boots I've gotten for absolutely remarkable prices. Some have paid as low as like $10, $15 for. It is going to be an absolute nightmare to put all these back, but let me know what you guys think of my boot collection, and let me know if I'm missing anything in my boot collection. I can't really say that I have too many goals in terms of different types of boots that I want to own, but I do have things on my Grail list that hopefully I can get to a little bit later on down the line. I am very pleased with how my boot collection has grown, and for the most part, I mean, you guys saw it, I wear mostly black boots. But yeah, I am curious though, which is your favorite boot out of my collection? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate your guys' time. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.